This is part 2 of my tuning tips for where winds meet, and this video is about getting the most out of your tuning. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend it, because in that video I explain how to always get a legendary affix on each tuning port. That method still works, especially now that we have legendary gear. Now there are two important things when tuning your gear. The first is affix rarity. Affixes can be uncommon, rare, epic, or legendary, with legendary being gold. Part 1 shows how to guarantee legendary rarity. The second, and this is what most people miss, is how to get the specific affixes you actually want, like crit rate, precision, or damage. This depends entirely on the path you select. Each path has its own pool of possible affixes. When you tune your gear, the game only rolls affixes from the path you have selected. If you don't select a path, you're rolling randomly from everything. So before tuning, you should decide which gear set you want to use. Choose a path that boosts the stats you're aiming for. Make sure your gear and path match. Once a path is selected, tuning will randomly pull affixes from that path's stat pool only. That means you have a much higher chance of getting the exact boosts you're looking for. After that, you apply your affix rarity resource. If you choose legendary, the affixes pulled from the path will be legendary versions of those stats. So in simple terms, path selection controls what stats you get. Affix resources control how strong those stats are. That's how you maximize tuning efficiency and build power. This same principle also applies when you're farming specific gear sets. Some bosses in campaign challenges drop specific gear sets directly. However, other modes like Hero Realm or Sword Trials don't drop fixed gear. Instead, they give loot boxes. What most people don't realize is that selecting the correct path increases the chance of getting gold gear, and also increases the chance of getting the specific gear set tied to that path. Normally, your chance of getting gold gear is very low, around 3%. By selecting the correct path, that chance increases to around 5 to 10%, depending on the activity. Let me give you a few examples. The Void King drops the Hawkwing and Eagle Riser sets. The Heartseeker also drops Hawkwing and Eagle Riser. The Wansheng drops the Jadeware and Formbender sets. Now, when it comes to Greaves, those are different. You can only farm Greaves from two bosses, Tai Ying in campaign challenges, God of Avarice. If you want a specific Greaves set, you must select the matching path. For example, if you want the Formbender set, you select the Bellstrike path. Bellstrike includes Formbender gear, Jadeware weapons and accessories. By selecting Bellstrike before farming Tai Ying, you massively increase the chance of getting Formbender Greaves. If instead you want Calm Water Greaves, you select the Bamboo Cut path. That path boosts Calm Water drops and increases your gold drop rate at the same time. This applies not just to campaign challenges, but also to Hero Realm Sword Trials. That's why the game shows recommended build. If you follow it, path plus gear, your farming becomes much more efficient. At endgame, selecting the correct path is no longer optional. If your path, gear, and tuning don't match, you lose a lot of damage and power. With the level cap increasing soon, this matters more than ever. Getting your path, gear sets, and tuning correct now will save you a huge amount of resources later. Upgrading gear costs coins. Upgrading inner waves costs coins. Upgrading mystic skills costs coins. Upgrading enhancers costs coins. And resetting paths does not refund everything. So focus on one path, build it properly, and tune everything around it. That's how you stay ahead at endgame.